Assalamualaikum, Chapter 6, Construction Specifications. All of you are aware what specifications means. Kat dalam drawing, you will have specifications telling the windows, doors, um, kalau you tengok at the bill of quantities, you will have bill 1, bill 2, bill 4, bill 3, the works as well as the specifications. They are BQ are mixed of the works and also the specifications. So why specifications are important? Because without specifications you will do different things, and you akan buat suka hati. The client might want a pink wall, but then you pergi cat blue, or like police stations, the color of their former color is blue, but then you go and paint it with pink. So that would be totally wrong, because you don't look at the specifications carefully, especially for big projects, infrastructure projects. It's very crucial to have very, very consistent specifications. Now let's look at the needs for specifications. Specifications are a critical component of the contract documents. The client wants something, but you give it the client something else. And then you will have disputes with the client and also the contractors. So it's a very critical characters of materials, as well as the standards to which the materials and their installation are required to conform, in addition to other issues that are presented in written rather than graphic form. So if you give graphic specifications, then people might interpret the graphic macam logo, like tandas. Oh yeah, you can, because that's typical gambar tandas kan. But sometimes they put funny icon on the toilets. It will make you confused. Kena tengok sekejap lama sikit. Oh, okay, yeah, I think this is for the woman. So graphic can be interpreted differently. So specifications, construction specification, we write the construction specification. Information in this category includes the quality-related criteria for materials. You maybe not tells jenis white horse, because we think white horse has a good quality of tiles, ataupun apa lagi je nama tiles, MLM if I'm not mistaken. So you don't want China brand, so you have to tell the quality what you want. Specified standards of workmanship, prescribed construction methods, and so on. So it has to be spelled out on the construction specifications. Ensuring clear communication. I have this SCIP white paper, a paper that outlines the procedure for writing specifications. You also have the notes that I've given you. Specification sections where information on each product or work result is generally described. So specification has the following information: descriptions and procedures for allowances, unit prices, product alternatives, and options in the contract. So normally you have this for big projects, like really big projects. But if you have like a simple project, renovations, kerja-kerja class F, so you may not have this product alternative, because it's pretty simple, it's just straightforward. Reference code and standards, standards, maybe you have Malaysian standards. Kalau precast, for precast we have Malaysian standard. Quality assurance of materials, fabrication and installation. So dekat situ Kesata ada tulis kat situ QA QC certified, so ada warranty, especially on electrical equipment. List of acceptable manufacturers, reputable manufacturers yang kita tahu dia memang produk dia memang okay, memang berkualiti. Applicable regulatory requirements including codes and standards. Ada kawasan yang you cannot, there are certain requirements, standards that you have to follow. Mungkin kawasan KLIA, around that area, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So you have to follow the requirements and codes, yang apa yang boleh buat, apa yang tak boleh buat. okay, around KLIA area. Ataupun if you have in certain areas, kat mana mungkin ada satu kawasan rumah banglo, you know, they have standards. Oh, you know, if you want to do this area we do not allow you to maybe they will have some requirements. I cannot give an example because I don't know in Malaysia which area, tak boleh recall. But in the UK, I know it's like very pain in the neck, especially for the contractors to do renovation, so as well as for the client, because let's say kalau you nak renovate rumah, even for renovations you nak tambah bumbung contohnya, then for you to get the approval you kena pergi minta kebenaran satu kampung. That's how difficult like a tedious job in the UK for you to get the approval to renovation. So it will take time as well. But in Malaysia it's very straightforward. Kalau majlis daerah benarkan, you buat. Tapi kat Malaysia sometimes tak dapat kebenaran, you dah buat dulu baru minta kebenaran. So that's typical. But dekat UK, it's not something that you can do. Acceptable qualificative tolerance and deflections requirements for infrastructure projects. You kena ada semua ni allowance and those. So these are the informations needed for you to give clear communications ataupun clear information for the executors untuk dia buat. Okay, this is what we want. This is how it should be. So it's clear. Tak boleh blurry, then you will have so many problems, disputes nanti datang. Okay, the stakeholders to whom it may concern. So who wants to look at the specifications? Of course, the first person will be the client and also the contractor. Contractor, dia nak buat kerja, mestilah dia kena tengok spec. If it's blue, then you do it blue. You don't pandai-pandai pergi tukar jadi pink. So everyone involved in the construction project has an interest in the construction documents and construction specifications. Final output and final construction document. For example, owners and architects. Yes, architect writes the specification. They suggest, okay, boss, you pakai ni lah, you jangan pakai ni, okay. But macam I cakap, certain buildings like macam balai polis, balai bomba, they have their own colour code, they have their own specifications, macam glass, what kind of glass. Sama juga bomba, like how big is the entrance and exit, besar mana, you know. They have their own requirements because it's very macam it is related to their jobs, their roles as police. Maknanya dia kena ada tempat macam tu. It has to be, contohnya gelas kalis peluru lah contohnya. So dekat rumah we don't need that gelas kalis peluru. Sama juga macam UiTM. Kalau you perasan semua pintu lecturers are in blue. We are not the police, yeah, but we have blue doors. So I don't know why blue, but that's the color code for the doors for our buildings in UiTM, Sri Iskandar at least. So I remember I wanted to paint my door in different colors because it was, you know, I don't like to see the blue doors. I felt like I was in a cell. Duduk dekat dalam tu tengok blue doors, I macam balai polis ke apa ni. So if you realise, my room, I painted the door internal je so that they don't know. Internally, I painted it with black. Okay, tapi kat luar masih blue. I couldn't change the colour. We are not allowed to. So, the process, putting it all together. Macam mana nak buat specifications? Yes, you dah belajar buat QS kan? So you have like some specifications, contohnya tingkap 300 mm times 2100 mm wide, casement window contohnya, to manufacturer's detail. Okay. So that is like very basic specifications, but for bigger projects, you need really clear specifications. So ada 5 process of putting it all together. The first one is scoping and discovery. Then you make the draft. Lepas tu review. Then you check. And the final one, you will have like a booklet or something for the big projects. Semua spec dalam tu. Okay, let's look at the notes. Kenapa sini? Okay, sorry, I don't know why the hyperlink doesn't work. Okay, so the 5 phases I showed you just now. The first phase is scoping and discovery. Scoping and discovery means you make the specification more focused. You focus on the thing, like you are very clear, very definite. Okay, I want to use this. Pink is pink. Pink pula ada banyak pula. Ada light pink, do baby pink lah, apa pink lah, blush pink lah. So which type of pink? So you have to scope and then you have to make discovery. So as a result of the scoping and discovery ini, you will come up with a prelim table of contents, you will have a checklist, you will have, lots of unanswered questions. The first thing they will do is a meeting. They will organize a kick-off meeting. Lepas tu dekat sini, they will clarify the design intent and they will ask more questions. They will have discussions and they will have all sorts of questions. And then after that, they would develop and review the project checklist. So ada checklist, they maybe want to conversate with the client, bila tanya client balik, owner's representative, lead interior design, what color is suitable, ni kalau normally they want suggestions lah for the architects. Then they will develop the table of contents. Basically it's like the outline, table of contents. Macam I suruh you buat, okay, buat table of contents, I want to see the outline. So basically the table of contents is just telling the brief idea of what you actually want to do. But this is just the first stage. And then the second stage, when you have the idea, you buat draft. You all punya assignment, have you started your draft? You should have, because I have commented on your table of contents. So now you should come up with a draft. Semua isi-isi tu you should have included in. Right, sama juga macam draft specifications. This is the second phase. Information already gathered provides a solid foundation for the contract document. This is from the scoping and discovery. So you already have the draft and then you have questions, you have more questions remain to be answered. Then dekat sini lah you draft. You start to draft, you put more things, benda yang tak clear, you will continuously collect more information because they're not clear. Then this is where independent specifiers can provide added value in the forms of insight acquired through experience, especially in product research and advanced research. So when you want to draft, like I said, okay, you already know it's pink. So what sort of pink you want to use? Then you maybe ask the interior design, the expert. Then it depends. Like it says here, product research. It varies depending on the degree to which the design professional engages or expert specifier to provide this service. So it depends on what type of data you can get. You search more on the product. Okay, kalau contohnya Jotun have this sort of pink. Ada 10 pink. But if you look at Jotun, apa lagi, Nippon contohnya, Nippon have 15 colors. If you look at different, so you do more product research. Then advanced research, you can ask different projects. So, maybe they mix colors. This is just an example, paint. I'm just giving you an example. So you maybe pergi tengok, cantik lah colour. I saw Tasca ni punya pink cantik lah. I don't know why I keep using pink colours, but bila I want a pink, like very light pink. So I'm looking at the wall in my room now. So it's pink. Apa tadi? So you can go to different places. Kat sekolah tu, kat Tasca tu, I tengok pink dia cantik ni, very light, this and that. So you tanya, dia kata, oh, I mixed this pink, I mixed with that one, I mixed with this one. So it's like, oh, okay, so which brand do you use? So this is more advanced. you cut across virtually all aspects of the project, including the sites, design, construction, jurisdictional issues. So you dig everything. Oh, kalau you nak buat project dekat KLIA, like I said, different requirements. So it's more advanced. It's more on focus on the site itself. So it depends on the more advanced. This is what we call advanced research, but it depends. Sometimes you don't really need advanced research. Tengok sekali product research, you can already determine. Then you have coordination with other disciplines. This requires clear and effective communication, ideally with the relevant disciplines communicating with each other. So when you're trying to figure out, when you do the product research, then you will tell your team members, the designer, for example, oh, you look, interior design, I nak pakai ni. Ataupun you tell the clients, look, apa tu, ataupun dia panggil owner's representative. Then you have more discussion than effective communication. Tak naklah kita short sendiri, oh okay, ni. Lepas tu you tak pergi cakap dengan diorang, tiba-tiba they don't agree. Okay, especially with specification yang dikata or equivalence tu. So dia kata pink as Jordan or equivalent. So you pula pergi cari benda yang kontraktor pula pandai pergi letak ni sendiri without clear communication. But that is masa execution lah. But untuk you buat draft, then you have to have clear communication supaya semua orang clear, consistent. Okay, development of divisional 101 yang ni I tak highlight because this is more on SCIP punya requirements. You can read. Okay, the third phase is writing the specifications. Now you already have the table of contents, then you have the draft, and now you write the specification, like real punya, bukan setakat you masuk-masukkan isi je, because when you do the draft, when I say you buat assignment, sepatutnya dah ada draft, sepatutnya you dah ada masuk dah point dekat bawah tu. Okay, now you have to write you punya assignment, the same thing, write the specification, third phase. So of course kalau you buat assignment you pakai Microsoft Word kan, so you organize your assignment in a single system. So it's just the same as writing the specifications. They have a standardized systems. They can use they want to do the master format ataupun uni format, they can use the PDF, they can use the Omni class, or they can use Microsoft Word, whatever lah yang you nak pakai. But it has to be easy access to each of the relevant parties, macam architect, among all parties lah, sama macam tu apa tadi, architect, client representative, QS, so they have to be clear. Maknanya semua orang boleh pakai sistem tu, a standardized one. So I'm not going to describe on the system, you can just read more on that. Then determine the method of writing specifications. 4 methods. Sekejap ya. Okay, so reference. Okay, sorry, ni anak-anak buat I keep coming in, checking on me. Right, so reference for mana tadi? 4 methods for writing specifications. Reference. So bila you buat specification, macam you buat QS, you know that you need to have the basic quality levels of materials. Kalau tiles, for example, they will say class A, class B, class C. They have like classes, product systems and part to be used as reference to establish standard for compliance. Performance, selalunya yang ni for things that have performance, aircons, macam ada 1 horsepower, 2 horsepower. Kalau macam you buat environment, you have the thermal, like insulations, you have the thickness kan, the thicker it is, the more it can insulate, and so on, under which the materials, product system and part must perform to a pre-established verified level. So the performance, macam I cakap tadi, it can be performance, it can be macam glass tadi, right? So you say maybe 6 mm thick glass to be fixed on the opening. So you can put more on the performance, betul yang panggil tempered glass. Tempered glass bukan 6mm lah, like sticker. So you can put bulletproof glass. Okay, so that is the performance. Then the third one is descriptive. All materials, products, systems, and parts are described specifically and in detail, but without using product or trade names. So you will say 1 horsepower, white aircon, lebar dia berapa, if you have the specifications, ataupun you will have yang wall hung ataupun yang ceiling mounted. So you have that kind of description of specifications. Then the fourth one is prescriptive or proprietary. Sounds about proprietary. Right, so this one is highly specific and most restrictive and includes brand names and manufacturers of materials, products, systems, and parts we use. So when you look at the specifications need for contractors, this is pretty how can I say risky, because kalau you tak tengok the specifications carefully. Sebab it happened to my own uncle. He tendered for a project. He put the price for that. Tak ingat apa, but it's electrical punya system. I couldn't remember. It wasn't aircon, but it was something else. So they put there, I couldn't remember the name, tapi I bagi example. They put on the description, they said Sony, ada ke aircon Sony? I tengok aircon bilik I, Daikin. Okay, so Daikin 1 horsepower ataupun 1.5 horsepower. Okay, so he included in the price for Daikin 1.5. But then when he execute the work, dia pasang aircon, it came out that he couldn't find Daikin 1.5 around that area. I'm not saying in Malaysia, they are in Malaysia, but in his area, where the project was, he couldn't find Daikin. So he had to travel for for a few hours to get that particular products, or he had to order in order for them to come. Nak postpone because it's heavy, so it will cost more. So he was like, okay, tak apalah, I pakai Panasonic lah instead of Daikin. So harga lebih kurang sama. So and then he put the different brand. What happened bila client representative datang check, and he said take out all the Panasonic punya products. And he said, but that's how normally we do work, because in the document contract it will say Daikin or equivalent. Tapi bila check balik contract document, then he realised dekat dalam specification tak ada perkataan equivalent. That is very risky. You have to check. Kalau you contractor, make sure you read the specification, because sometimes they will say, okay, white horse or equivalent. Maknanya kalau kawasan tu you couldn't find white horse, you couldn't find pink white horse, yang ada MLM je. So you bila tanya, rep cakap, okay, that's fine, because dia ada equivalent, that's fine. But in his case, perkataan equivalent tu tak ada. So he had to take out all the Panasonic punya brand lah. Contohnya I bagi Panasonic tadi, I tak tahu brand apa, I couldn't remember. So kena buka balik semua. So he had to bear the cost. Sebab nak pulang balik dah tak boleh. So he had to sell all the devices second hand. And then he had to buy a new one. Dah lah pula tu jauh. So that's very risky. It also happened for another project when I collected data for my PhD. A specific manufacturer was given. Kan dia kata kat sini manufacturers of materials. So it was government project, open tender, precast. They had to use precast, and they gave 4 manufacturers, specific manufacturers. So all the bidders, tenderers yang nak bid, I think at that time was about 100 something contractors who wanted the project. They bid for the project, but the client only named 4 manufacturers. So bayangkan 100 bidders, they chased 4 manufacturers. So you ingat semua 4 manufacturers ni nak layan 100 bidders. Yeah, and to give the drawings, to give ideas. So now that's where the corruption comes. Sebab then contractor pergi dekat manufacturer tu, dia kata okay, kalau you bagi kat sini, you tak bagi ke orang lain, so ada hanky-panky dekat belakang tu yang I know went on, but uh, to survive, then they had to bagi pula dekat manufacturer tu, okay, you jangan bagi ni kat sini, you deal dengan kita je, you jangan deal dengan orang lain. Kalau kita dapat projek ni, memang kita akan bagi you ni. Ada pula yang deal macam tu, kontraktor yang pergi deal macam tu. So it cut I think about 100 something overbidders. Yang dapat daripada manufacturer tu tak sampai 100 pun yang dapat. Tak semua yang dapat quotation from the manufacturers. So manufacturers tak layan semua orang, only layan those yang they wanted to. I think, I'm not sure, but this is what I have been told by my informer. So apa lagi sebab projek tu? Yeah, and another thing, I had the question, kenapa client only gave 4 manufacturers sedangkan there were more? So I had that question, kenapa pula client nak kena bagi ni? Client ada something ke dengan manufacturers? But that's a different story, because sometimes we have to see on both perspective. Mungkin ada unethical something going on, sebab kepala otak I memang sentiasa macam, ni mesti ada something ni, kenapa dia claim part dia. But maybe for manufacturers ni sebab diorang ada quality. But when I check again with the bidders, they were saying that these manufacturers adalah bukan yang betul-betul yang reputable, yang betul-betul yang macam like class A punya manufacturers. So I had the questions, but that was unanswered. So I left it, the question unanswered. Right, so then you have to use common terminology. Common terminology consistently used from the start of the project can prevent costly misunderstandings, delays, and dissatisfaction in later stages where time literally means money. So you have to be consistent. Kalau door, guna door je lah. Tak payahlah cakap kat sini you kata door, kat sana pula you kata entrance exit. Apa pula yang entrance exit ni? It's confusing. Ni contoh tak adalah kat dalam BQ they use the word entrance exit. But it has to be consistent. If you use the word door, then use the word door throughout. Daripada awal sampai habis. You don't change. Macam, it's the same thing. If you write your assignment, sekejap you guna staff, kejap you guna employee, kejap you guna workers. Be consistent. If you select employee, just use the word employee. That's it. Tak payah nak kejap itu, nak kejap ini. Ataupun kalau kata help je lah. Tak payah cakap aid ataupun I don't know lah. Sometimes you like to use bombastic words. You punya English tonggang terbalik, grammar tonggang terbalik. Tapi you punya words tu, not only degree students I'm talking about PhD student pun sama juga. Macam nak hebat sangat English, but then you use hard words. Tapi you punya English pun tonggang terbalik. Simple, be simple and clear. Clear communication is very important. Right, now the fourth phase, reviewing and revising. Reviewing means you select a different team. Okay, for large complex projects, review meetings may be staggered for efficiency to ensure that only those responsible for the aspect under review are in attendance. So maybe staggered maknanya it can be staggered in either during phases, maknanya pada awal they will have review, ataupun staggered means they will have different parties. Tapi staggered dekat sini maknanya deciding who should attend, however, must take into account the fact that disciplines do overlap and that multidisciplinary reviews often result in more comprehensive understanding. So, bila you pecah-pecahkan, reviewer means orang yang, macam nak cakap dia review, bila I cakap macam you kata literature review, review is not summary. You don't summarize. Review means you pun selalu tengok kan, product review kan. Produk ni bagus, produk ni boleh bagi you tidur dalam masa 2 minit. Contohnya. Ada yang orang kata, orang lain pula ni, produk ni tak guna langsung, aku dah pakai 2 jam tak tidur-tidur. That is review. That is the real review. So when you do literature review, it's the same thing. When you read a paper, say paper tu cakap ABC, then when you review you cakap why ABC? It shouldn't be ABC, it should be ABCD. Kenapa you cakap ABCD? Because according to author B, it's ABCDE, but this paper ABC. Then you maybe have questions why? Why setengah orang ada ABC, setengah orang ada ABCD? This is just for example, but at degree level, I'm not macam ni nak cakap scrutiny. I'm not really in detail about your literature review. Asalkan you boleh siap, you siap. But for postgraduates, masters and also PhD students, when you do literature review, it means review. Bukan you summarize or describe, descriptive. It's different. So it's the same thing. Review kat sini means you have a set of team, maybe with different background. Maybe you will have contractors, you will have ID, you will have engineers, and then you tengok spec ni okay tak, then maybe orang ni nampak, orang ni pula tak nampak, orang ni kata oh okay lah produk ni I rasa, tapi based on their experience I think maybe you can look into this, maybe you can look into that. So they will give suggestions, and then they will have another stage, bukan stage, like a process where they revise. Okay, tengok consistent tak, terms dia betul tak ni, okay tak. So they will revise after the review lah, confirming and confirming the implementation of notes, reviewing meeting notes, redlining markup. So they will check everything from awal to habis, macam you buat revision lah. Then the final one, the fifth phase, where they come up with a master format ataupun with your assignment tu lah yang dah complete set. So the complete set, normally they will have the cover, table of contents, and they will have all this information, invitation to bid, instruction to bidders. This is more like contract documents, okay, agreement, general contract, specifications. Ini dia punya contract document lah. So specifications kat sini ada, they call it divisions, tapi ini untuk SCIP. So maybe you had the general requirements and then other product specifications. Product specifications pula mungkin you ada special product, especially kalau project tu yang infrastructure, MRT, Putrajaya. Kalau I tahu Syabas, they had products where they have to import the products from Germany. Sama juga dengan MRT projects. I think the QS had difficult time to find the price for this one product. I couldn't remember what, because I tak tahu apa fungsi that thing, because it was for MRT. So the QS was like, ni untuk apa ni? So I was there when I collected data, and then they asked me to help. And they managed to find a manufacturer for that product, but not in Malaysia. So they had to import the product from overseas. I couldn't remember where. So specification is very, very important, especially when you do tendering. You silap je, kalau dia tak cakap equivalent, you tak dapat cari price untuk Sony, for example. They want Panasonic. They want Sony, but you go and put the price for Panasonic. So, it will be underpriced. Atau overly priced pun boleh jadi juga. So you really, really have to check the specification. Even with the size kan, pintu 900 mm times to 2100 mm height. Kan, kalau untuk tandas, you will have different size. So if you don't check, you taram je semua harga for different size with the same price, you may have over or under price tender. So that will put a lot of risk. Kalau you menang, kalau under price, susah. So we have that kind of cases. We have QS tersalah tengok, QS tak perasan the specifications. Many of that kind of cases have come across. So yeah, that's about it really. Thank you very much. Chapter 6, then I will do chapter 7 and 8 for next week. Next week 7 and Lebarai 8. Something like that. Right, thank you.